Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It's episode 109 and today we're going to be working on a project in the shopping district that isn't Sahara. I know, it seems ridiculous, doesn't it? Because, you know, Sahara was such a massive project. It was such a huge technical challenge that it kind of took over any other shopping district duties that I wanted to do. And I had this idea a couple of months ago that I thought would be absolutely hilarious, but I thought I'd wait until Sahara was finished before I started it. Now this idea is a little bit different from any of the other shops that we have in the shopping district. And I'll explain a little bit more as time goes on, but I'm just trying to work out a good place to build this thing because obviously, you know, all of the shopping district pretty much has been taken up these days. You know, we're quite far into the Hermitcraft season now, so a lot of the real estate has been used up, but this space out the back here does seem to be empty. And I think that this kind of area could be pretty perfect for it. So the first thing that we have to do is prep it all up and make sure that it's ready for this build. I think most of it is actually going to be dipped into the ground. There's not going to be too much above ground, so that definitely helps us out. Right, this is the strip that we've got so far, and these little red blocks are kind of like planning blocks. This is just allowing me to get myself set up with where each one of these things is going to be. Now, I've been thinking about how I'm going to do this. So it's all going to be on this side. This is where the shop is technically going to be. And then off on this side, I think this is where I might actually build up a sign. I think having a sign on this side would be smart because when the players fly in, they'll easily be able to spot it. I tell you what, having this pair of farms available to me is probably one of the biggest times. Where have those pistons come from? Is this from when it exploded? That's hilarious. There's components of the system just in the hoppers here from the multiple times that this thing blew up. Anyway, the reason that we need all of that cobblestone is because I'm going to use it for decoration. Originally, I was just going to slope off this landscape here, but I've thought about it and I think actually creating a structure here will look really cool. And I like the design of these walls, so I thought I would kind of mimic it in a way. Just a little bit less medieval and a tiny bit more industrial. Now that we have all of the decoration in place, or at least we have the outer shell, don't worry, I'm going to be doing plenty more to this. I'm not going to be leaving it how it is. It's probably time for me to explain what we're actually building here. We are creating storage wars in Minecraft. Now, for anyone who hasn't seen Storage Wars before, congratulations. You are... That's a good thing, okay? I can promise you it's a good thing that you have no clue what Storage Wars is, because it's a terrible TV program. Okay, the idea behind it is that you have a bunch of people that stand outside a storage container. So you know, one of those like self-store areas or even an old garage? They stand outside one of these storage containers and a guy opens up the container. They all have a look around at it from outside, kind of like this. They're not allowed to look at any of the boxes on the inside, and they're not allowed to go inside the container. They have to just look from afar, and then it gets closed up, and then the guy sells it for however much the people who are there want to pay. So it's kind of like a blind auction. It's an auction for something that you've sort of seen but sort of haven't seen, and you're hoping for some good surprises and not nasty surprises. People lose money, people make money. Yeah, it's an interesting concept that I think will work well in Minecraft. So I was just trying to work out what sort of blocks I should use for my Storage Wars sign that is going to be going above this thing, and I thought I would use something bright and colourful, which obviously will come straight to mind. And I've popped over to Exumavoid's little store here, and it's really cool in that it doesn't actually charge any diamonds. So all of the wool here is completely free. You can take as much or as little as you like, and all you have to do is write in the book what you used it for, which is a really sweet idea. I'm trying to think. Maybe I should do that with cobblestone. People always run out with cobblestone, and I can get thousands upon thousands of the stuff. I like this concept. But sadly, I won't be using it today because I kind of want to build my sign out of concrete as opposed to wool. I just think it looks a tiny bit more solid. Now, this sign I have built maybe, I think 3 times now in total because I want to get it absolutely perfect. First time it was a little bit far over and this was off center. Then I moved it across and then managed to almost center it, but it was out by 1 block. Then I managed to get it wrong again, somehow. I don't know how I do these things, and now I've got to shift everything across by 1 block to the right, but hopefully it should end up looking good once all of this is over. And it does! So you got the Storage Wars sign up on this wall here. I was not expecting to be able to perfectly center this, but that looks great. That is nicely proportioned. I'm glad that we went for the yellow blocks. Obviously, if you stand here, no chance that you're going to be able to read it, but as you fly in, it's perfectly legible, and that's the most important thing. Another really important thing is that we get the opening of these garage doors correct, because I really want to make it so that it's fair for everyone who uses the system. The idea that I've had is that this garage door is going to open for a uniform 15 seconds for every single one of the hermits. So the hermit presses the button, they get 15 seconds or maybe 10 seconds, maybe even 5 seconds to just look inside the garage. They're not allowed in, they're not allowed to touch anything, but they have 15 seconds or 10 seconds or 5 seconds to actually look inside there before they place their bits. So I've actually ended up doing something quite cool here in that I've created a really smart little sand door design right here. It's really small, very simple to construct, and it's relatively fast, but doesn't actually work for what we need it for, because we need a pulse extender to run into this top piston. And I mean, I'm looking at it, there's no real easy way for us to reactivate this thing without just pressing this button up at the top here. The input really can only be at the top, which is it's really frustrating, because I like this design a lot. I'm spending a silly amount of time trying my best to keep this thing compact, and I have no clue why. And to be fair, it's ended up paying off, because look at the size of this thing. So this is a 3-block high, expandable little sand door here, and it fits within this tiny space. So I guess my development time, yeah, it kind of has paid off, because this is a nice little design, and our input is now here, which means that we can use pulse extenders. Now, I'm not going to tell you how long it took me to design that, because I'm a tiny bit embarrassed. As mentioned earlier though, the next stage of the process is the pulse extenders, which, as you can probably tell from the sand blocks floating around, I'm kind of struggling with. I mean, that's not the best opening in the world, and then it only gets worse for the closing. Yeah, we gradually shorten our door every single time we use it. We might actually just have to get old school here. Sometimes the older solutions are the best way to do it. So it's open. This is how long the player gets to look in the area, and then everything closes up. I would actually say that's quite nicely timed as well, because it's enough time for them to be like, okay, what's in here, I can't really tell, and then everything closes up. I reckon that's the winner. Right, let's pop back onto the Hermitcraft server and start building. That's hilarious. So now that I've finally closed up the slime block store, I've actually just popped in to pick some up, and someone has clearly been shopping here despite this being boarded up. And Iskal, you'll be happy to know that I didn't take the diamonds this time. They're both yours and mine, my friend. These things are actually alarmingly easy to construct in survival. I mean, realistically, it's kind of 2 lines of repeaters, a few observers, a sticky piston, a redstone block, a redstone torch, and that's about it. Just placing the pistons, and then you're done. I just can't believe how long it took me to actually design this. That's the depressing thing about it. Sometimes the simplest things obviously take the longest design, because a lot of effort has gone into making them as simple as they are. So I've now cleared out all of the space to fit in these redstone contraptions. One thing that was very important is that all of them had to fit within the area that they had allotted. So kind of it's a 4 wide door, and it has to fit within a 4 wide space, which was a bit of a challenge. But we've got 5 of these things to build. First one is done, 4 to go. And with this final block, this should be everything for our piston doors. So I think that should be it. I don't think I'm missing any details or anything like that. The only things that we have to do now are all the timing circuits, which require literally a billion repeaters. Okay, so I'm probably going to have to head over to the witch farm. I guess we actually have everything that we need there. I mean, we have automatic cobblestone. We can smelt up the stone. We get sticks and redstone from the witch farm. This is it's basically a repeater farming area, what we've created there. That's amazing. And yeah, it worked out exactly as expected. I've just picked up nearly 4 stacks of repeaters without even breaking a sweat, which will probably last me maybe 3 days. Yeah, that's like a 3-day usage right there. Maybe less, actually, because as mentioned earlier on, yeah, these timing circuits require 1 billion repeaters each. Okay, fine. It's, what, 16? So, that's 32... 2 stacks, 2.5 stacks. That's actually going to use up almost all my supply. Alright, that is that. All ticked off the list. So now, remove all of this. place in the blocks for the doors, and then we can actually start making up these little storage containers, I guess. We need to... You know one thing that I haven't actually thought of yet? This is hilarious that I haven't thought about this, considering this is the entire concept. I've been focusing so much on the execution of this thing and how it's actually going to work that I haven't even begun to think about what I'm actually going to put on the inside of these storage containers. I have no idea. I don't know. What sort of thing do I even put in there? What sort of designs do I... That is so typical me right there. That is me in a nutshell. The next thing that I need to work out is what I'm actually going to do with this flooring area. I feel like I need to get all the decoration done. So, I mean, obviously this stone can't stay. Do I do like path blocks, a little bit of grass, kind of make it look like an overgrown, yeah, an overgrown kind of trashy area, maybe some iron bars, maybe some fires, potentially, just make it look really rough. Quite some time later, this is what we've got. So let's just add in, I'd say, a few flames in this corner right here, and maybe a few fires around this one. Yeah, I think that looks good. This actually looks quite cool. Oh, the entrance needs a bit of work. I guess we need some stairs and things, but I really like the way this is coming together. That's pretty nice. But I'll be the first person to admit that I did a lot of that decorating to give me some time for my brain to think of things to put in the storage containers. And I have some good ideas. I've come up with some cool bits, and I've come up with a way in which I want to do it, because I want to make sure that it's not silly. For example, you know, the Hermit, they can't access any of the barrels or anything like that that are going to be inside these storage containers. So it would be very unfair of me to make these storage containers super barrel-y, okay? I don't want to do that. I want to put things on display. I want to have a lot of items visible, but I also want to have some things hidden away. There's definitely a way to do this to make it as fun as possible, which is kind of the main goal here. Now, the actual storage containers themselves aren't going to look particularly glamorous. They're just going to be stone brick shells like this, and obviously what's inside is the thing that really matters. And there's going to be a variety of different things in every single one. So now that these things are constructed and all fully ready to receive their items, it's time for me to put some serious work into actually making these enjoyable things for the Hermits to bid on. Now, obviously, for obvious reasons, okay, I can't show you guys what I put into these storage containers because... I mean, I know what you're like, okay? I'll be quite frankly honest. Okay, I know what you guys are like down in the comment section. As soon as I show anything in the video, you are straight off to every single other Hermit's videos letting them know what's going on. So even you guys aren't going to know what's inside these storage containers. You're going to have to watch the other Hermit's videos to find out what sort of things are on the inside of these things. So... give me a while. We are about an hour into this. Things are going well. We've got 3 out of the 5 done. A lot of the time is just spent trying to think and plan. Really need some cobwebs. Really need some cobwebs. And we don't have any. Silk touch shears. That's what you need, isn't it? Or is it just regular shears these days? I can't remember. A big thank you to Cubfan for being an absolute champion and helping me out. You know what? I might occasionally shop at Concorp. Don't tell Iscalogrin that I just said that. Nice. We are now all done. So let's patch this up quickly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to test opening one of them. So you'll be able to see inside one of them. Obviously, I'm not going to give any sneak peeks or anything like that. This is just, I guess, the opening of one of them, just to see if it works. Which it does. So that opens up, and that is all the Hermit is going to see. So they have that amount of time to kind of look around and see as much as possible before the doors close up. Oh. So you have to make a decision real fast as to how much money you're willing to put down. Now, one thing that I'm definitely going to need for this thing is, of course, a rulebook. Because, yeah, there is no hope for the Hermits actually trying to use this thing without having some form of detailed instructions on how to do it. Because we all know what's going to happen. Someone will press the button, the garage door will open, they'll then walk into the storage container, they'll get trapped in there, they'll look in all the chests and everything like that, and the entire process will be ruined. So I have to be very, very clear with these. And yes, in that example, I was totally referencing Grian. Grian would 100% do that. In fact, I think there's still a chance that Grian will do that, despite very clear instructions not to. Progress isn't exactly coming along well. We've got 2 lines. I'm counting that as 2 lines. This is taking me longer than you would think. Quite some time later, we have got an actual book all written up. So these are my rules. Hopefully everything is explained. Obviously, hermits, if you're confused, please do let me know, and I will make amendments to the rule book. Okay, so it says, welcome to Storage Wars. Biddings opens at 8 PM BST on the 6th of the 7th, 2019. The concept is simple. Grab some of the bidding papers and rename them to your IGN. Each paper represents 1 diamond. So there's going to be stacks and stacks of papers available at the entrance to this place. The hermit can grab those papers and then rename them to their name. Those are going to be their bidding papers, so they don't have to put tons of diamonds into the system, which obviously means if they don't win, then yeah, they don't have loads of diamonds just stored up over here. I hope that makes sense. Number 2, there are 5 different storage containers, all with different items on the inside. When you hit the button, the door will open. Do not go inside. Do not open any storage containers. See, this is the problem. Containers and containers. I guess I should specify. Do not open any chests, shulkers, barrels. Okay, do not break anything. 3. The door will open for about 5 seconds. You can only open each door once. You must then place your bid based on what you have briefly seen. Bidding closes at 12 PM BST on Sunday, the 14th of the 7th, 2019. Winning bidder must then swap papers for diamonds. Once diamonds have been paid, the container is yours. Head inside and see if you have spent your diamonds wisely or if you have made a regrettable decision. Enjoy, Mumbo. I think that's as good as I'm going to do. I think that's everything explained. I can't think of a better way to explain it than that. But I'm not going to sign the book just in case I need to add anything that people are really, really confused about. So it turns out that we can't use bidding papers because Grian has used up all of my sugarcane to make all of his rockets. So what's a good alternative? I don't know. That seems a bit silly, doesn't it? That doesn't seem smart. Cool. I think that's it. So, instruction book, boom. That's all in there. We've got bidding tokens. I've been very ambitious with how much I've provided for the hermits. I don't expect this many bids to be made. I don't know. I just wanted to make sure that there was never a case where the actual bidding chips have run out. We've got anvils. We've got plenty of anvils. We've got plenty of phantoms as well. That scared the literal pants off of me. Give me a second. Right. Okay, continuing on. I've got a sign specifically for Grian that's telling him that he must read instructions book before using. So that's all good. I've got some junk here that I'm going to relocate using shulker boxes and things. That's no issue. I've got my bidding barrels. So enter bids for number 1 here. Enter bids for number 2 here. Blah, 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 blah. This place actually looks way cooler with the barrels in the walls, by the way. I'm quite proud of this build. It's pretty sweet. So that's all done. Is there anything else that I need to do? I seriously feel like I'm forgetting something, and that's depressing. Buttons still work. I have tested all the buttons. I've technically just cheated here because I've looked in that container twice when I shouldn't have done. It all seems good. I think we might be ready to go. Storage Wars is open for business. People can come along and bid for containers that they don't know what's on the inside of. It seems daft, but trust me, this TV show is really popular and apparently loads of people do it. And yeah, this has been fun. This has been a really, really fun little project. And I can't wait to see how it all comes together. I can't wait to see people getting involved with it. I can't wait to see what the highest bids are on some of these storage containers because I'm just curious. I'm curious to see what happens here. I've never really seen anything like this on the Hermitcraft server before, so it's going to be very, very interesting indeed. So I'm going to spread the message to all of the hermits. Make sure that you head over to the hermits I'm not going to tell you to spam their Twitters or anything like that, but just make sure that they're aware that this is here and that they should get involved with it. But anyway, I really do hope that you enjoyed this episode on the Hermitcraft server. If you did, please hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, and filming channel stuff, you know what to do. Link is on the screen right now. One.